The ultimate plan is massive, substantial reduction of the Earth's population. And the only people who will be allowed to live will be the technology titans and their families. That's where they're going.
And their servants, if they have any.
They disconnect you from work and self-worth and your sense of purpose. I don't know how many decades it will take for humanity to melt down.
Oh, but not even a decade.
But they will eventually come to the place of saying the only solution is to eliminate these people. There's no reason. We know the Pentagon, according to Wired Magazine 8 years ago, Wired Magazine said the Pentagon was developing flesh-eating robots.
Yes.
That would obtain energy from eating human flesh. Well, what do you have? You have an army to eat humans and get more energy to keep going to eat another human. Daniel, the prophet, said that the fourth beast in the last days was an army with teeth of iron.
That's right.
Robotic teeth. Daniel, I believe, saw an army of robotic soldiers eating people.
Yeah. Wow. And if you think that there's some future place where everybody's getting a paycheck and they say, you know what, today I think I'll go to community college and learn macrame or improve myself. That ain't happening. All they're going to do is continue to devolve and continue to go down a more decrepit path of sin. Because without purpose, people fall back into sin. I mean, you can go all the way down through history and see this over and over again. Because once again, human nature does not change.
That's right. Hey, I want to read this quote from Mark Zuckerberg, the alleged founder of Facebook. He had a little help from his friends in the CIA. But Mr. Zuckerberg gave the commencement speech at Harvard. So now this tells you how worthless and useless a Harvard education is now.
Because he dropped out.
Yes, but I'm talking about they sat there and listened to the speech and didn't laugh at him and boo him off the stage.
Listen to a Harvard dropout.
This is what he said. Quote, every generation expands its definition of equality. Now it's time for our generation to define a new social contract. We should have a society that measures progress not by economic metrics like GDP, but by how many of us have a role we find meaningful. We should explore ideas like universal basic income to make sure everyone has a cushion to try new ideas, end of quote. Now remember earlier this week, he called for a global superstructure.
Right.
He didn't tell us what it's going to be, but I can fill in the blanks. A global superstructure? That's a world government. Who's going to run it? Again, going back to Bible prophecy, hit off all we've heard for decades and decades and decades of Bible prophecy teachers on TV and radio and churches is about the 10 kings, and they're going to, it's going to be this nation and that nation and this nation. Everybody's got their prophecy charts, and you got to get your book and DVD sales and all that about you figured out who the 10 kings are, and all this kind of stuff. Nobody has ever speculated the possibility that they're not political kings.
Right.
They're technology kings, because there will be no nations.
Right.
There will be just corporate states. 10 technology kings.
One Google king, one Facebook king,
yes.
One Apple king.
Yes. And they're already thinking like that.
Yes. One space mining king. How'd you like to be the first trillionaire? The first trillionaire who mines minerals from a rock in space.
And that could happen in our lifetime. I mean, really, within the next few years.
Yes.
And I said they're already thinking about this. I asked a question along these lines at the conference we went to. I asked them what would stop any one of you, as a IBM, Google, Facebook, all on the stage, what would stop any one of you, your companies, from becoming nations? And the answer was, they just said regulation. The craziest of answers. The only thing stopping these companies from becoming countries is regulation. And you think of what Shadow Brokers, which is another hacking group that's come out, they have nuclear secrets that they are now selling on a monthly subscription that came out last week. It is not far off to think that these corporations could build armies. These corporations could attain nuclear knowledge.
I believe they've got them now.
I do too. And I've said for years, all these private armies, these mercenary companies with, you take all these commandos after they leave military service, and they get hired by a private security firm.
Paying 5-10 times as much as they were earning in the military. Yeah.
Yes. So what happens if one billionaire buys up control of all of the private security firms in the world? What does he have? A global army?
And don't think it can't happen, because it happened several times in the Middle Ages, where
That's
one
right.
king would buy up mercenary armies from other countries, so he would have the resources to conquer another country. I mean, this is a historical thing.
But you might be the one who's doing the conquering if you have enough money to buy up control of all these mercenary armies
Or build your own.
like robots.
Yep.
What did Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, what did he say last month when he was inside driving that giant robotic warrior, and he was sitting behind the glass and he's driving this thing, and he said through the microphone, "Bow down to your master."
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a joke, but I don't think he was joking, because Amazon owns a company that builds robots.
That's right. And so does Google. They do too.
Why does Google own a robotic manufacturing company?
Military robots.
Yes. Yeah, these aren't delivering the mail.
No.
Insurance?
They aren't pets for your home.
No, we're going to see warfare between corporations. Listen, there's coming a day corporations are going to declare war on other corporations. I've never said that before.
No, I never heard you.
Corporate warfare. We're going to be listening to news reports. Google launched an attack on Amazon today.
From the boardroom to the battlefield.
A cyber
Yes.
attack. Taking down.
No, not
Or-
a cyber attack. A physical attack.
Physical attack.
With physical armies.
Everything. Cyber attack, physical attack, drones, robots, everything. One corporation battling another one, like dinosaurs attacking each other.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't they do that already with leaks of information, sending in people to secret meetings and
Oh,
leaking?
sure.
They already do it.
Yeah, they have their
On the
espionage
phone.
under. Yeah, that's been going on for
Yeah.
quite some time.
But imagine them having armies for you.
Oh no, that's
armies
what I'm
fighting
saying.
each other.
Yeah, it's real.
Hey, Elon Musk, the other billionaire, the owner of SpaceX, he also has endorsed a global universal income. He said, quote, there is a pretty good chance we end up with universal basic income or something like that due to automation. Yeah, I'm not sure what else one would do. I think that it would happen. Okay, the key line here is due to automation. That's robotics.
Yes.
They're saying we're going to put everybody out of work. And we, the new trillionaires, are going to be socially obligated to pay you something so you can eat. But someday, we're going to kill you. Now, he didn't say it in that line, but that's what they're thinking. Someday we're going to kill you. Because we have robots that will be able to eat you.
Because robots don't eat food that have to be produced. They just consume energy.
You won't even be able to buy things or sell things if you're not a part of it.
Do you know why Jesus said that the Lord would have to shorten the days where no flesh would remain?
Wow.
It is going
now,
to
wow.
It's going to get so weird, so bizarre, so stinking crazy that the Lord will just have to say,
got-
shut it down.
Before they kill it, all of themselves
Yes.
off. Yeah.
It's going to be so bizarre you can't even comprehend it.
And until this moment, Rick, I never really thought about how that was possible. But now I can see just the battles of corporations where no flesh can stand.
That's right.
God help us.
That's where we're going. We are going to, God willing, go around the world month after month, attending these conferences, learning all that we can learn and sharing it with the body of Christ, informing the saints of God, and making sense to the best of our abilities to tell the church what is happening in the world and where the titans of technology are attempting to take us.